In section 1.4, we will talk about proportions. A proportion is an equation in which two ratios are set equal to each other. In the first example, we will determine if the two proportions are true. So let me give you an example of two proportions. Let's say you have half of something. Now, if you multiply the 1 by 2 and the 2 by 2, that's equal to 2/4, right? So if you have a circle split up in half, and let's say there's a pizza, you eat half the pizza, okay, that's the same thing as saying I have this circle split up in 4s and I eat 2 out of 4. So I eat 1 and 2 out of 4, which is same as a half. So these are equal proportions, equal ratios. So if the proportion is true, then we want to determine is 3/4 equal to 15/20. Now the easiest way to do this is to cross multiply. So in this case, we multiply the 20 to the left, multiply the 4 to the right. On the left side, we get 3 times 20. On the right side, we get 4 times 15. This is 60 equals to 60. Since this is a true statement, this proportion is true, which means 3/4 is equal to 15/20. Let's take another one. 30 multiplies to the left, the 10 multiplies to the right. In any proportion, you always cross multiply. So on the left side, we get 7 times 30. On the right side, we get 10 times 20. 7 times 30 is 210, whereas 10 times 20 is 200. They're not equal to each other. Therefore, this proportion is not true. Let's take a look at the next one. We want to solve for x. So same thing, we're going to cross multiply to solve any proportion. We have x times 15, which is 15x, equals to 27 times 20. And so we need to figure out what is 27 times 20 equal to. That equals to 540. So we get 15x is equal to 540. Then the x is being multiplied by 15, so the inverse of that is to divide by 15. And we get x equals to 540 over 15. Now to simplify this, to reduce the fraction, we have to figure out which number goes into both 540 and into 15, and that is going to be 5. So if you take 540 and you divide that by 5, it's going to give you 108. If you take 15 divided by 5, this gives you 3. Now we're not quite done though, because we got to figure out, can 3 go into 108? And in fact, it can. If you take 108 divided by 3, it is 36, which is your answer for x. So if you had taken 540 divided by 15, you would have still gotten 36 as the answer. Next one, the 14 multiplies to the left, 16 multiplies to the right. So we get 14x equals to 16 times 7. If you multiply 16 times 7, it gives you 112. So we get 14x equals to 112. Since the x is being multiplied by 14, we divide both sides by 14, and we get the x by itself. Now, if you take the 112 over 14 and you reduce it, you got to think about which number can go into both 112 and 14 at the same time, and that would be 2. So if you simplify this, this gives you 56 over 7 as the answer for x. Here's a word problem. Suppose you work for a large coffee distributor that has a secret coffee blend that it sells to local stores. You mix the Tanzanian blend with the breakfast blend, but always in the same proportion. Yesterday, you mixed 60 pounds of the Tanzanian blend with 12 pounds of the breakfast blend. Today, there's 20 pounds of the Tanzanian coffee left in stock. How many pounds of the breakfast blend should you mix? But the only thing is, you have to make sure that the similar units go in the same side of the fraction. For example, the Tanzanian blend is on the numerator. So on the other ratio, the Tanzanian blend also has to be on the numerator. And the breakfast blend has to be on the denominator. If I cross multiply this, the x goes to the left, 12 goes to the right. We get 60x equals to 12 times 20, which is going to be 240. Since the x is being multiplied by 60, we divide both sides by 60, and that gives us x equals to 4. Since this is a word problem, we need to have units, so we're looking for how many pounds of the breakfast coffee blend. So we need 4 pounds of the breakfast coffee.